You know, we're in a budget year right now, and every year when it comes down to the budget, inevitably the gas excise tax comes up as something that we could and arguably should address. I would argue that it in of itself is a very regressive tax. People have to pay for gasoline to get to work. They have to pay for gasoline to maybe take their kids to school. They have to pay for gasoline, perhaps, to go to doctor's appointments. And I'll explain all of that in greater detail, but I do, to your point, Mr. Speaker, want to summarize. What the amendment before us does is, effective July 1st, it would lower the gas excise tax from 25 cents to 20 cents for each gallon of gasoline. I would argue that the gas excise tax here in the state of Connecticut, or quite frankly any state, is one of the most regressive that we have. It doesn't change based upon your compensation, how much money you make, your personal wealth. It only changes if you need to spend more money on gasoline. It only changes if you drive more. It only changes if perhaps your car isn't as efficient as a newer car and it burns more gasoline. And if those are the cases, the taxes you pay go up. But we have here an opportunity to lower that burden, that regressive burden that exists every day on taxpayers in the state of Connecticut, regardless of their income, regardless of their tax bracket. We can do that right now, sir. We can do that by passing the amendment that's before us. We can do that by lowering the gas tax by about 20%. We can do it if we want. We can do it if we have the will. The vehicle by which we can do it is right here before us, House A, LCO 7610. We can do that if we want, if we have the will.
Have Representative Brown, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and through you, I think we could all agree that we would love to save the consumer money when it comes to gas, as we've seen prices skyrocket in recent years. And so I would love to work with anyone who has ideas as to how we accomplish that. But I think through the bill that I have proposed in the amendments, that it's just not the proper vehicle. And so with that, I urge my colleagues to reject this amendment.
Mr. Speaker, I cannot imagine what vehicle is not proper for us to address lowering the gas tax to save consumers money here in the state of Connecticut. We are sitting here talking about the cost of gasoline in Connecticut. We have an amendment before us that will lower that cost. The vehicle is right here before us. We want to save people money, and we can do it by lowering a very regressive tax. You can do it right now. To suggest that this is not an appropriate vehicle by which to do that is laughable. We have a tool right here. Let's use it. I urge adoption of this amendment, sir.